Welcome to something to talk about. Welcome to something to talk about.
Hi, welcome to Something to Talk About. My name is Taco, and I'm wearing black today. Why am I wearing black? Well, because it's about 50% of my wardrobe, but why else? Because we're going to the wall. This is a Let's Talk About the Difference. It's where I'm going to take a character from the show of the Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones, that's what they call, from that universe, and then compare it to the book series, the books in the show. And who we talking about? Well, a little known character named Qhorin friggin' Halfhand. That's right. You guys didn't think I'd ever cover him, huh? You're like, oh, he's too big of a character. He's not. He's just that awesome. He's an awesome character. So sometimes people think that means that they have a lot to them. But some characters are just in a couple chapters and they kick butt and then they leave. And this is one of them. So we're going to talk about what's happening on the show with them. And then we're going to cover the books. And yeah. You guys ready? Let's go. Yeah. You wearing black? Maybe you're wearing black. You can join the watch like me. The Halfhand in the show, the television adaptation of Game of Thrones. He is portrayed by Simon Armstrong. Good on you, Simon. Qhorin was a senior and experienced ranger of the Night's Watch, regarded as an elite scout in Soldier. Oh my God, did I not do the spoil stuff? So I'm going to cover how he is in the show, how he is in the books, and then discuss the difference. In a spoiler warning for his part in the show, I will be talking about all of it. So if you don't want any spoilers of this show, you picked a weird thing to watch, but yeah, that's what I'm doing. And then also I'll be covering everything about him in the book as well. I'm not leaving anything on the table. I'm throwing it all out there, right? So if you don't want to be spoiled, here's your warning. So anyway, Simon Armstrong played him. He was an elite soldier and scout. He was known as Qhorin Halfhand because he, or simply the Halfhand because he lost most of his fingers on his right hand in a fight with a wildling. He was once a good friend of Mance Rayder. He is based at the Shadow Tower along the wall, but he spends much of his time ranging beyond the wall. He was stranded beyond the Skirling Pass during the last winter before the series begins, and he survived in the wild for an entire winter. Wow, that's hardcore. He led a force north from the Shadow Tower to meet Jeor Mormont on the Great Ranging to search for Benjen Stark. They meet at the Fist of the First Man, and they discuss wildlings with Mance Rayder. And Mance Rayder. Qhorin cites wildling lookouts on the Skirling Pass and suggests using parties to displace them. He offers to lead one personally. Jeor's steward, Jon Snow, asks to join Qhorin, but Jeor argues against it, stating that he's not a ranger. But Jon convinces Jeor. Qhorin's party finds a group of lookouts and ambushes them. Jon hesitates, killing Ygritte, and then the wildlings ambush Qhorin's group. Later on, Qhorin realizes that he will have to sacrifice himself to facilitate the ruse of Jon deserting the wildlings. So he stuns one of his captors, acquires a sword, and then attacks Jon with seeming intention of killing him for treachery. The Lord of Bones says, "Let them fight." Qhorin enrages Jon with insults. He calls him a traitor and his dad a traitor and stuff, I think. After a fierce duel, Jon mortally stabs Qhorin per Qhorin's own instructions, who whispers to Jon, "We are the Watchers on the Wall," before he dies, signaling to Jon that he has done the right thing. By killing Qhorin, the wildlings believe Jon has betrayed his oath, and they release him. That's it. I was able to get all of this character onto one slide. I don't get to do that much for the show, so I was glad I was able to. Now let's talk about the book version, right? So, honestly, not very different. If you came here for wild differences, this isn't the one there are other ones. There are characters I've covered that are extremely different. Go watch my Robar Royce or Robar. No, not my Robar Royce. My Bronze Jan Royce and my Steer Magnar of Then. Those characters are pretty different. But this is Book the Halfhand. Qhorin, known as Qhorin Halfhand, and the Halfhand is a ranger in the Night's Watch and second in command at the Shadow Tower. Qhorin Halfhand is tall like a spear with shrewd gray eyes. His hard, flat cheeks are clean shaven. He wears his gray hair long and in a long, heavy braid. Hey, that's different. See, look at that guy. He's not clean shaven. He doesn't have a big braided hair. Look at it. Short. Yeah. So many differences. Let's do it right there. He is courageous and speaks quietly and deliberately, but can fight quickly and savagely. He is a living legend in the Night's Watch and one of their best rangers. He is hated by many of the free folk because he has killed a bunch of them. And unlike many brothers of the Night's Watch, Qhorin can respect the positive quality of the wildlings. Yeah, he respects them as he kills them, as he fights them. All right. So normally I cover houses here, but of course Qhorin's not part of a house. But I do have a slide, a brand new slide. I'm not just reusing my old one from Satin. It's not pink anymore. I finally wrote a new one for the Night's Watch. And it's all black. Makes a lot more sense than the pink one pink and purple one I had before. The Night's Watch is a military order dedicated to holding the wall, the immense fortification on the northern border of the Seven Kingdoms, defending the realms of men from what lies beyond the wall, mostly Snarks and Grumpkins. The order's foundation dates back to the Age of Heroes, a time when the others were pushed back. The men of the Night's Watch wear only black, and they are known as Black Brothers. Recruits who join the Watch are said to take the black. The Night's Watch consists of 3 orders: stewards, builders, and rangers, and are all subject to the Lord Commander. The Night's Watch, each of the 3 orders are led by their own officer, the Lord Steward, the First Builder, and the First Ranger, respectively. These orders are appointed by the Lord Commander. There you go, right? The 3 branches of the Night's Watch government, right? Judicial branch, the builders, I guess. The executive branch, the Rangers? I don't know. I didn't work any of this. I didn't work any of that analogy together. I just started going, all right, cool, let's go. Life on the wall. Qhorin lost all 3 of his fingers. Not all 3, all of the fingers, this says, on his right hand. There you go. Except for his thumb and forefinger after catching a wildling axe before it would strike his skull. So he's like this on his right. Yeah, hey, you. Hey, what's up? Like, that's what he's got. So the Halfhand, where we go. He then thrust his maim hand into his adversary's face and slew the men when he was blinded by blood. That's pretty hardcore there, Qhorin. Jesus, hardcore. How we never called him Hardcore Halfhand before? It's been right there. Wow. All right. I'm coining that one. Screw you guys. Hardcore Halfhand. All right. The Halfhand trained how to fight left-handed and became just as proficient with his left hand than he had been with his right. Yeah, because he's hardcore. Qhorin has explored it deep into the lands beyond the wall. So cool. Qhorin is good friends with Mance Rayder before Mance deserted the Night's Watch. The Halfhand also knows Eddard Stark and his late father, Rickard Stark. Qhorin is placed in command of the men of the Shadow Tower, charged to meet up with Jeor Mormont during the Great Ranging to search for Benjen Stark. So let's talk about that Great Ranging, shall we? Yeah, we shall. The Fist of the First Men. Qhorin Halfhand arrives with 100 men from the Shadow Tower. Qhorin recognizes Jon. He's like, you look like a Stark. Sup? He tells him that he knew Eddard Stark and Jon's grandfather, Rickard Stark, as well, which I just said. Don't know why I repeated myself. The men of the Shadow Tower were delayed because they met Elfin Crowkiller, and his men who had been scouting along the wall. They killed the wildling leader and took some captives, but at the cost of 4 dead and a dozen wounded. Wow. A prisoner was taken from this battle, and Mance Rayder, he reveals that Mance Rayder was in the Frostfang searching for some magic to bring down the wall. A magic horn, you say? It's pretty awesome. I like Mance. In Mormont's tent, so they're all like having a little meeting. Jon Snow overhears Qhorin telling Mormont about a captive that Mance Rayder, about a captive claiming, yeah, this is the captive, that Mance Rayder and his wargs and mammoths, has wargs and mammoths in his army. There you go, that's English. He also explains that the captive claims that they plan to breach the wall, not climb it or burrow beneath it. Qhorin tells them that Mance is seeking something in the high, old, cold places in the Frostfangs, some power or artifact. Qhorin advises the old bear to send scouts into the mountains, and Mormont agrees. Jarman Buckwell is to take 4 men. Thorin Smallwood will lead a party. I covered Thorin Smallwood before. Go check it out. All right. I have not covered Buckwell. Sorry. Qhorin takes a crew composed of Dalbridge, Squire Dalbridge to you, Eben, Stone Snake, and he immediately chooses Jon Snow as one of the 4 men, stating that the old gods are strong beyond the wall. The gods are the first men and the Starks. He's like, dude, I want him. So yeah, again, this is all pretty close so far to the show. All right, the Skirling Pass. Skirling Pass. Can we admire? This is one of my favorite pieces of art for the Song of Ice and Fire lore. I want everybody to know that. I use this picture of Ygritte anytime I'm near the Skirling Pass. Anytime I'm talking about Skirling Pass, I'm like, I get to show that really awesome picture of Ygritte, right? And it's so good. It's so gorgeous. All right. As Qhorin Halfhand's party moves slowly in the Skirling Pass, they note wildlings watching. High in the pass, Qhorin sends Stone Snake and Jon to dispatch the watchers, and they are warned not to let them sound a horn. Stone Snake and Jon climb the sheer cliff and kill the small party of wildlings, with the exception of Ygritte, whom Jon takes captive after she yields. See, right there, that's what we're looking at. When Qhorin and the others arrive, Ygritte recognizes the Halfhand and confirms that the wildlings would kill him if he yielded. Yeah, she's like, yeah, I would not do what you're doing here. Qhorin's men state that she should be killed, and Qhorin leaves the decision to Jon alone, with Ygritte to carry out the task. And yeah, Qhorin leaves Jon with Ygritte. Oh, I already said that. Ygritte tells Jon that Mance would accept him if they ran off. And Jon, about to behead her, finally stops himself and tells her to run off. Qhorin is not surprised by his decision. He's like, yeah, saw that coming. What? She's a cute redhead. Of course you didn't kill her. Oh, I kill cute redheads all the time. No, you don't know. Oh, you're right, I don't. You're weak. Anyways, retreat. Jon awakes from a dream where he sees the location of Mance and his host. So yeah, he has one of those wolf dreams, right? Hey, we're finally getting to something different. Qhorin calls it a wolf dream, and Eben calls Jon a skin changer. Qhorin, however, does not balk. He's like, yeah, so what? And the thought of wargs and giants during a time when the dead walk and all the trees have eyes again. What? Yeah, that's such a crazy line. He's like, oh, the trees all have eyes again. What are you talking about, man? They set out just before dusk and spot the eagle of the wildling warg, or Orel. I can't talk anymore. Soon after, they find Ghost wounded and dress the direwolves' wounds. Qhorin tells them that they must head back to the Fist, for they had been seen by the eagle. Hey, look, a ward watched us. They begin the journey back through the Skirling Pass without lighting any fires despite the cold. But their lead on the enemy is shortening, and when they come upon a place where the wildlings were killed, Squire Dalbridge remains behind with a bunch of arrows, sacrificing himself to give the others an advantage. I also have covered Squire Dalbridge before. Awesome character. Super underrated. Okay. The weather in the Skirling Pass has gotten worse. Qhorin sends Eben with the last horse to ride in all haste back to the Fist, while the other rangers draw off the pursuing wildlings. Qhorin then sends Stone Snake back as well to take the high passes to reach the Fist of the First Men. And we never see Stone Snake again. That's crazy. Qhorin commands Stone Snake to tell Jorah Mormont of that, all that Jon has seen, all that Jon saw, and that he faces giants, wargs, and worse, and that the trees have eyes again. Yeah, I said it twice. All right, keep going. All right, let's keep going. Death beyond the wall. Uh-oh. That night, the half-hand asked Jon if his sword is sharp, and he's like, bro, this is Valyrian steel. Of course it's not. And it makes the young man recite his oath to him. Qhorin then commands Jon to yield when they are overtaken and not to balk no matter what the wildling asks him to do to prove himself. Jon is appalled at this suggestion, but Qhorin tells him to go along with the wildlings and learn what they plan, watch what they do, but to remember that he is to return to Mormont when he has learned what the wildlings are searching for. Qhorin promises to tell Lord Commander that Jon has never broke his oath when he sees him again. Rattleshirt's band catches up with him, Ygritte amongst them, and a spearwife shows them Eben's head. So yeah, one of the guys they sent off totally dies. When Rattleshirt orders them killed, Jon yields as previously ordered, and Ygritte vouches for him. Halfhand says in contempt, I was warned, bastard, blood is craven. Rattleshirt commands Jon to kill Qhorin to prove himself, and the half-hand immediately attacks the younger man. Ghost, as in his direwolf, distracts Qhorin by biting his calf, and Jon slashes the ranger's throat with Longclaw. Hardcore. Qhorin. Rattleshirt is displeased by Jon's direwolf aiding him in the fight. The wildlings burn Qhorin's body with Rattleshirt, taking some bones for himself. Yeah, Rattleshirt sucks. I've covered Rattleshirt too. Didn't I? Yeah, I did. What's the difference? Let's talk about difference for Rattleshirt. Yeah, I did. Looted and remembered. Yeah, he's gone. He did. Ygritte wears Qhorin's cloak as her own. Well, Linnell, that does not sound like a wildling. We got Linnell over here, takes his hauberk, Hegwell, that's a much better name, his gloves, and a bowman his boots. Longspear Rick gives Qhorin's helmet to Ygritte since it does not fit him. Steer and Rattleshirt are unhappy because they wanted to kill the half-hand themselves. Yeah, makes sense. Who didn't? Mance Rayder tells Jon that he was once Qhorin's friend. Mance admits that he himself is easily tempted by the charms of women. He compares Qhorin, a man loyal to his vows on the Night's Watch, to be carved of old oak. Yeah, old friends. After the attack of Castle Black, the captured Rattleshirt tells Alliser Thorne and Janos Slint. I also did a video for Alliser Thorne. Man, I'm covering too many people. Maybe I should stop. That Jon had begged for his life in the Frostfangs. When Qhorin tried to kill Jon as a craven, a ghost attacked the half-hand, and Jon then opened his throat. Alliser and Janos disbelieved Jon's story of Qhorin's last command. Stannis Baratheon does believe Jon and after the battle beneath the wall. However, While gathering support for Jon to be chosen as new Lord Commander, Sam Tarly reminds Dennis Mallister that Qhorin had trusted Jon. Yeah, there you guys go. So that's everything. Let's talk about the differences. But yeah, like I said, not too many. Starting with the differences, not really many. The backstory of Qhorin spending all of the last winter north is of the wall, it just show only, but it does fit. I don't dislike it. And besides that, just minor changes. Jon not warging the other changes. Jon does not have a wolf dream, nor does a ghost help kill Qhorin. But besides that, the Halfhand is pretty unchanged. Besides his appearance, of course. Now for the many Qhorin theories. Yeah, there is a cajillion, and I am just not gonna do them justice here. You can look up all the different Qhorin Halfhand Mance Raider theories, right? Pretty much everybody north of the wall is the 3 Kingsguard at Tower of Joy, right? Like, there is a theory out there for pretty much any of the Kingsguards to have surrendered and go north of the wall. So any of those guys could be any number of people up north. That's what theories say. So maybe he's Arthur Dayne, or Mance is Arthur Dayne, or Qhorin is Gerald Hightower, or maybe he's Oswell Went. There's just so many theories. Yeah, I got nothing there. Just a caboodle of many theories that I'm just not gonna completely cover here. But they're all out there, and if you're interested in them, go check them out. But yeah, pretty awesome character. Pretty awesome character. And this guy was a request from one of my commenters, Hawk McBride. So Hawk McBride, it probably took me a very long time to cover him, but I eventually did. I got long lists. So yeah, what'd you guys think of Qhorin Halfhand? I mean, he's a legend. He's a legend at the docks. Everybody knows that. Like Ziggy. All right, I'm getting out of here, and I hope you guys enjoyed that and do all that YouTube stuff. That's it. Peace.